So, did you actually know that Martin Luther King's first name was Michael when he was born?
I heard that, but I had forgot it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, in this video. My name is Donna,
And I'm Will.
and this is Journey with Donna and Will. So, to begin with, a couple of facts about Dr. Martin Luther King. When he originally was born, his name was Michael King, and his father renamed himself and Martin Luther after he visited Germany, and he was inspired by the Protestant reformist Martin Luther.
And another fact is Dr. Benjamin E. Mays, president of Morehouse, was Dr. King's mentor.
Dr. King attended Crozier Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania. He attended between 1948 to 1951. And Crozier Theological Seminary is the same school that my father went to get his master's degree.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Dr. King was arrested 29 times for civil disobedience and made up charges.
Lastly, we have the Dr. Martin Luther King holiday, which Ronald Reagan signed into law in 1983. So a lot of people know about the I Have a Dream speech that he did in Washington, D.C. I found another speech that he gave in Philadelphia to some students at Barrett School, and it was very inspiring, like most of his speeches are. Some of the things that he talked about were dignity, worth, and somebodiness. He also talked about achieving excellence and be ready when an opportunity comes your way. And he also talked about the beauty of being black, but know that, black is beautiful, love yourself.
Dr. King also had a meeting with Michelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura from the Star Trek series. It was the height of the civil rights movement, and apparently she was thinking about leaving Star Trek to march with Dr. King. He took her aside and really talked to her about the impact of what she was doing on the Star Trek series and actually the positive image that she was putting out there. He had a very good quote. Don't you understand what this man has achieved? For the first time on television, we will be seen as we should be seen every day, as intelligent, quality, beautiful people who can sing and dance, yes, but who can go into space, and who can be lawyers and teachers, and who can be professors, who are in this day, yet you don't see it on television until now. So that really kind of inspires me, especially being in STEM or aerospace myself. And I think that quote really resonates today.
For me, some of the videos that we do is talks about respecting those that came before. And, that concept comes out of, the foundation of building upon that. The things that he and others did during that generation helped us to being in society, being treated equally. And I think his goal is for the betterment of everyone. And, I think we have to continue that
Absolutely.
to be, better for everyone. And I think that's the message that I get from him. I've read an article, blacks, I think, are in the middle class 45% or whatever. So, that's definitely improvement from whence, he's come from. But that doesn't mean, oh, okay, so you can have a nice house, have a nice car, or whatever. But his message was keep improving, keep moving forward, just keep building upon that and looking out for other people. Yes, it's great to have some material things, and no one's begrudging anyone for that. But there are environmental issues. Work on those type of things. There's still
Yeah, I think in his later
issues.
years he started focusing. Yeah, he actually addressed that directly regarding the materialism in the U.S. or in America, and he wanted to flip that to where the focus would be more on people versus things.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. And we're also the first, you and I, born in the 60s, among the first generation to fully benefit from the civil rights, Voting Rights, Civil Rights Act. And those that came before us did, all the heavy lifting, to make those come to be. So we definitely recognize, appreciate, honor those who came before us and those who continue to fight.
Right. Also, sometimes with children, they don't realize what has gone before, everything that their experience is how they just grew up. So they think it might have always been that way. Just because something is right now doesn't mean it can't be taken away. I mean, we've seen that in the last year with people trying to take away democracy. Because it exists now doesn't mean it will always stay if you don't continue to fight for it.
That's true. Absolutely.
So, I mean, in today's time, there are people who are continuing the work of equality, such as Vanessa Nakati. She's an environmental activist who is trying to, improve the environment in her country.
There's also a young man named Jalen Smith, 18 years old, down in Earl, Arkansas, who recently became mayor. He was, very concerned about his community, so he decided to get into politics.
Jasmine Crow, she's from Atlanta. She's the CEO of Good R, and she is working to end hunger with a mobile app that she created.
We also have Dr. Kizzy Corbett. She's one of the key scientists behind the development of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Maxwell Frost, he was the newly elected Gen Z congressman from Florida.
And we've got Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, U.S. Supreme Court, doing great things there.
And Malcolm Jenkins, he was a football player for the Eagles. I think he's retired now, and he also worked for social justice. Okay. So people are continuing, in the same vein that Martin Luther King did in all different areas. Dr. Martin Luther King did a lot. I mean, he was a normal person who did exceptional things. And I think that's the message, Anyone can do something if you're motivated to do it.
Yeah, as he said, anyone can be great because we all can serve.
The betterment of everyone is what I take away from his legacy. I'm Donna.
And I'm Will.
And this was Journey with Donna and Will. If you have any comments relative to Dr. Martin Luther King, we would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, like, share, and we'll see you next time.